Right. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gen Z podcast. We're in Vegas currently, and I have Dezi Marie, 28, singer, songwriter, coach and activist, entrepreneur, Latina, a little spicy.
Yes.
I am so excited to have you on. I want to get into a bunch of things. You own a clothing brand called Bittersweet Lifestyles, right?
Yes, I do.
It's all about advocating for mental health. And I want to get into it at the end, but at 20 years old, you said that you were denied a gig solely based on your weight.
Yeah.
And was it your looks?
Yeah, so I can tell you the quick story of why I own a mental health
Yes,
slash
let's get into
mindset
it. Yeah.
brand. So growing up, I've been overweight my whole life. So 5 years old and chunky, Latina
So
looking.
cute.
And I did learn Spanish first as well. So when I started to go to school, I was kind of the weird one that didn't know English and was chunky and looked Mexican.
Right.
So it was just like
A lot.
not
That's
a
a lot.
vibe for me in the
Not a
first couple
vibe.
years.
Not a vibe.
So as I grew up, I was overweight my whole life. I didn't know anything else. And in my household, you know, we were pretty healthy, but it wasn't like my parents lived an active lifestyle or anything like that. So I go to college. At the time, I'm like 230 pounds. I'm like peak fat.
Yeah.
And I'm also peak career in college at the same time. So I went to school. I studied music and business,
Okay.
which I use both of those things
Incredible.
today, which
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
amazing.
Yes.
And I was doing this competition called NAT. It's a national singing competition. Anyone who's studying vocal performance can do this competition and usually does, because it's like the biggest thing you can do.
Right.
And so my senior year, I get to the top 14 in the nation, which you
amazing.
beat like 8,000 people. You've
Right.
been doing this for 4 months. There's rounds and rounds and rounds. The finale of the top 14 was actually in Vegas. It's the first time I ever flew to Vegas. I lived in Maryland, so I'm an
Okay.
East Coast girl.
Okay.
And I flew in, sang my songs. I ended up winning the entire competition,
Okay.
getting my college's first national title
Incredible.
in music
Yeah.
ever. And part of me winning was I was supposed to get this contract with a cruise line. It was like part of your prize. And so I go down. The judges are there. They're having auditions because some of the best singers in the nation are all in Vegas at once. And I'm like, hey, I'm the winner. I just won. I sing my song. And I vividly remember every single time there was 4 judges. I'm pretty sure it was 3 women and 1 man. And the man was sitting in the middle, and he goes, you know, Des, you're amazing. You have amazing vocal chops, da, 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 da. But we don't have a place for you in this cruise line right now. When he said that, he went like this with his hands.
Shut up.
And it took me a second to understand what was happening.
Right.
And I walked out of the room and I was like, I just got denied of something because of my weight and because of what I look like.
Wow.
And I got really depressed.
Yeah,
for
of course.
a while. I went back to school. I was like highest high and lowest low of my life in the span of an hour.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my God, holy crap.
Yeah.
And because of this depression and cycle I was in, I was like, you know what? That's never going to happen to me again.
Yeah.
And it led me to investing in myself for the first time.
Okay.
So I ended up hiring a health and fitness coach.
Okay.
It was $4,000. I put it on a credit card
Wow.
because I had no money. I was a
Right.
college student.
Right.
But I was like so determined.
Yeah.
And this coach, her name is Anne-Marie Colburn. Her program is called Inner Alpha Fitness. Loved the company. They changed my life. I didn't realize that I was signing up for like mindset coaching. I thought I was just going to be like working out.
Right.
And next thing you know, she's teaching me about mindset and personal development and how everything's in the mind and
Right.
all these things. And a long story short, I don't know if we can post clips and photos of me, but I ended up in the first 4 months losing 40 pounds, continued to work with her, ended up losing 70 pounds. But more than that, I changed my entire life. I changed my
Wow.
perspective. I tapped so hard and heavy into my mindset, into my mind, that I went from broken college student,
Yeah.
bad habits, bad eating habits, bad lifestyle, don't know what I want to do with my life, living with my parents, to by the end of this 2-year cycle, I was one of the core 4 people working and building and scaling her company with her.
Incredible.
Starting my own company, performing all around the East Coast, and eventually moving across the country by myself to Vegas. The way that Bittersweet Lifestyles came about is I was sitting in my room folding laundry one day and I had an epiphany and I said, holy crap, wait a second. The worst thing that ever happened to me is the best thing that ever happened to
Isn't
me.
that so funny with time and perspective? Yeah. And that's why I love your company, because I have struggled on and off with depression. And so I totally relate to that, like mental health, and especially the past, I would say, year. But what's funny is when I first encountered it, it was probably like 13 years ago. I had a couple really hard years when I got postpartum depression because I had my daughter, just debilitating depression. But it was the worst thing that ever happened to me because it completely changed my career. I built myself back up because I hit rock bottom. So I love that when it's like sometimes the worst things to happen to us are literally the best
thing that could ever happen to you. And I was sitting in my bedroom folding laundry. I remember I had this epiphany and I said, oh my gosh, if that person ever denied me of the cruise, I never would have gotten pissed off enough to do something about it, to change my life. And I said, I'm going to build a company revolving around the basic thought that the worst things that happen to you are the best things that could ever happen to you, and that life is bittersweet. And Bittersweet Lifestyles was born.
I love it. Bittersweet, I love that because the duality, like I tried to explain the last year of my life where I was living my best life-ish, but I was also carrying grief and depression. And it was like the two completely coexist, like the duality. And then I also love what you said, like rejection is complete, like divine redirection.
It is.
And how interesting. I love it. Anyways, I'm repping her shirt. I'm repping
you're repping it. She got the new Make Love, Love again. Because that's what we're actually here to talk about is
Make Love again. Honestly, should we name the title of this episode?
Make Love Again?
I'm with
down.
Dezi? With Bittersweet
Make Love
Lifestyles?
Again with Dezi Marie?
Okay.
Love.
So one thing I'm so grateful for is our friend Blake, who she calls Block, which now I will be calling him Block. He was on the podcast earlier, Blake Wisner. It's called Sober is the New Sexy. But what I've loved is I've been living in Austin once a month, and I just feel like I've been trying to build my podcast out there because there's so many creatives. And I legitimately did not know that there was a creative community in Las Vegas until I met Blake, and he's introduced me to all these amazing people. And I feel like I have this group of people, because people who aren't grinding in a creative entrepreneurial space do not get it. They don't get it.
They don't.
And people will shit on your dreams, but nobody in the creative field will ever shit on your dreams because they know what it takes, the grind, being broke, not making money from it until it works. And so that's why I love it. Anyways, so I became friends with Dezi, and she posted a couple weeks ago a story on Instagram, and it was basically saying, and you can elaborate on it, but it was basically saying that you love men and you're literally coming from a place of curiosity because you are finding it hard as a successful entrepreneur. As a woman, you're finding it extremely hard to date. And I have found the exact same problem. So I was like, oh my gosh, if you get answers, please tell me, because I'm genuinely curious because I've had such a hard time. So tell me what you were struggling with and why you put it on Instagram. And then
yeah, girl. So this was not a cute video. It was like 11 p.m. laying in bed.
I love it.
It was so authentic. I was sitting there. I probably just had like a cry session with myself or something. And I was like, I'm going to talk about this.
Yes.
And I post this story, and basically what I'm saying is I'm questioning my followers, and I'm like, y'all, I'm confused. So I'm gonna let y'all tell me.
Yeah, like I'm here to learn. I'm confused.
I am in classes in session. Okay? I'm classes in session. I'm taking notes. Men and women. A, are you finding it hard to date in 2025 in general? Like,
For sure.
Do I need help? Like, and I probably do, but like, is it me? That was the first question.
Yeah.
2, I'm like, men, what is this disconnect between, this is what I hear. I want an independent woman, but when they get an independent woman, they don't want her. Or that's how we feel.
Maybe, yeah.
And in tangent with that, how do I make you? I'm curious. I want to know, how can I make you feel wanted and loved and like a provider and like you are giving me something, and like you feel like you're in your role, and you feel like you're in your masculine, while I get to live out my dreams and my entrepreneurship.
Right.
And how can you help me step out of my masculine?
I love that.
And into my feminine, because I know for me, a lot of my work ethic definitely comes from probably fight or flight response from life, where at a very young age I had to step up.
Yeah.
And in my early teens and into my really early 20s, I would say I was like an emotional rock in my household.
Yeah.
And I've carried that into my late 20s.
Right.
And I get to say, wait. So what happened was, this year was the first year that I said, I want to be led. Yes. I don't want all the power. No. This is exhausting.
Yeah, no, literally like, lead, my boy.
Yeah.
Like,
and
lead,
so
I would let you.
That's been a shift. But do the men lead when I give them the platform to lead? In my experience, no. So what am I doing?
Yeah.
Where is the disconnect? Because I go into relationships, I'm all about communication. I'm all about us pushing each other, building something together. I want to be your biggest cheerleader and vice versa. But like, I be dating men and they're just completely afraid of me. They are just, the minute I actually bring them into my life, it's all cool and kosher. We're going on a date. You come over to my apartment. We're cute. We're playing games. We're having a glass of wine, whatever. The minute we step into life, they're like, oh, you really doing this? And I'm like,
yeah. And I'm doing this alone.
Yeah. I'm really doing this. And I'm going to keep doing it.
Right.
And I've just had like the worst dating experiences, I swear. And I'm not blaming the male species.
No, and that's the thing, is that's what I love is confused. Like, me and you, we love men. Yeah. Like, I love men. I want to understand your species. Please. Please. Like, I don't want to be a lesbian. Like, I joke that it's my toxic trait that
also,
I like men. Yeah.
Me and Jen like basically already proposed to each other, but then we realized that we're both women.
I don't want to do anything sexually to you, but I would love to just live in like an adult women's sorority house.
Totally down.
So anyways, I have found the same problem.
Yeah.
And so I am a little bit older than you. And what I've realized is I have noticed when I date people, they're really intimidated by, like, I have my shit together and I don't understand. And here's my thing. I never like flaunt it. I try to be humble. I'm not in your face. Legitimately, I'm so in my masculine because of my business and that I'm a single mom that like I have to. And so I have to run the shit. Like I have my shit together, but that doesn't mean that I will gladly, I have to be in my masculine in our careers and we handle our business and we hustle and we grind and that's part of it. Yeah. When I come home, my man, I will let you lead, lead. But I have found that they're intimidated and I don't know why. I genuinely don't, because I'm not like in their face, like feminist, like trying to like, I'm not in their face about it. It's just, yeah, like I do have my own house, but I also am a little bit older. Like you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I was married. And so we had nothing when we got married. I was a child when we got married and we built it together. And that's my whole thing is like, I don't care where you're at financially. I genuinely don't. And I think girls give us a really hard time.
I don't care either. And that's been, I think, a little bit of the issue. I think I actually might have to care a little bit.
I think I might have to
because
as well.
I really haven't. That hasn't been a prerequisite for me.
No.
But I'm starting to make the connection of there's a certain mindset in the men that are established, that do have a good money mindset, that do have this good frequency, that do have this stuff going on, that when they don't, the whole disconnect that I'm having, and I'll pull up, by the way, guys, I had like 87 responses to this story. My Instagram, I woke up the next morning and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Everyone has something to say about this. Yeah. Men and women, everyone is going through this. People are saying crazy shit on my IG. And the biggest perspective that I got from men was that it's just an insecurity thing. So men, they want to their first thing is provider. Okay. If you have all your ish together, they feel like, well, why am I here? I don't have anything to offer you.
So are they mostly saying provider as far as money? Because to me, so I'm like, you guys, for me, and tell me what you want.
Yeah.
I genuinely am not looking at a financial, that is not my thing. I want to feel safe, secure, seen, and supported. Like, especially when we're building things, I want someone to just be there cheering me on. And when I come home to like lead, I'll look to you for like, you lead the household, like you lead that. But that doesn't necessarily mean from a financial standpoint. Like, because yeah, like I do have my own money. Like your money is welcome. Like bring like, but I like yeah, like, but like
yeah.
But I want someone to build this together, like build a life together where we all have both our things and we just support each other. So I think the disconnect is for us is as women, we're genuinely asking from a perspective like what is happening here? And how can we as like strong, independent women who have our own careers, how can we allow you to feel like you can step into a provider role?
Yeah.
Because we've been trying to date out here and they say that they want someone, but then when it comes down to it, I feel like there's a little bit of intimidation, and that's not because me and you are flaunting or anything.
No.
It's just, we do this. Like,
and it's passion driven and something we can't turn off.
Right.
And it's something that it's who we are, like to the core.
So I have a question for you because I'm wondering,
give it to me.
The men that you're having a trouble with dating, are they creatives?
Okay.
Because sometimes I think that's why I've kind of shifted my perspective. Like, I'm like, maybe I need to be dating someone more in the creative field because they kind of get that grind. Whereas like someone with like a 9-to-5 business, like job is kind of looking at it like differently. And I don't love that. Like I had a guy that was like a finance dude, and he was just like,
I'm looking for a man in finance,
and I'm not looking for a man in finance
anymore.
I'm looking for a guy with a nose ring and tattoos, and then maybe a tattoo artist or a musician. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, it felt like he was kind of almost in competition with me. And I could feel, even though he didn't say it, I could feel a little bit resistance where I was really succeeding at work or whatever. And it was kind of like this weird thing. So I want to know, are you dating men in creative fields? Because I wonder if that's different.
Let me give you my dating life tea.
All right.
Let me walk you through womb to 28.
Yes.
Okay. So I was in a 7-year relationship.
Okay.
We broke up 3 years ago.
Okay.
This person was a creative, but honestly, they were very lost. I don't even think they knew what they were.
Okay.
Why I attracted that's my own problem. Since then, I tried to date, they were a music artist.
Okay.
Since then, I've tried to date another music artist.
Okay. So you are dating creatives.
I have been dating creatives. So then I was like, okay, I downloaded my first dating app this year for the first time ever. I was like,
how was that?
I don't know.
No,
not
I'm
for
off.
me.
Yeah, not for me either. Catch me in the wild, baby.
I literally so I downloaded Hinge.
Okay.
And 2 days in, I have 55 DMs. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Who has the time or energy?
I'm just like, this is overwhelming. I'm like, so anyway, I actually end up hitting it off with someone that I decide to talk to on here. They were not a creative.
Okay.
They were a 9-to-5
business
working person.
Okay.
Not even in business. And they were very fitness oriented.
Okay.
And so I was like, let me try this out because what I'm doing isn't working.
Right.
That didn't work either. Because our mindsets are in completely different places. We see the same scenario and we think about it in 2 different ways. Not saying that one is wrong or right. We just value and see the world in a different way.
Right.
We see the dollar in a different way. We see our time in a different way. And so there was a disconnect there. But more than that, they felt lesser than me, or that they weren't worthy of being with me because of my career and because they felt like they weren't worthy to be with me.
Right.
Regardless of we had a great connection. We had great conversation. We had the same values and morals. But when it came to, I'm confident in who I am.
Yeah.
I know what I bring to the table.
Right.
I know I'm a beautiful, loving, thriving light that will give so much to my partner.
Yeah.
No real insecurities when it comes to that, but I think I brought all of their insecurities out.
Well, relationships are mirrors. So that's the unfortunate thing, is sometimes you project, like, because you have it together and you are this light, it shows them possibly what they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, oh.
So I went through creatives, tried the 9-to-5 thing, and I talked to a few people on there, but I was like, no. And I really think I need to find, and I'm not going to say I need to find because I'm not going to look. I'm going to allow the yes. God and the universe to bring this person to me. Someone who is in love with themselves and their work as much as I am, and they will understand where I'm coming from. And then I get to see them for who they are. I get to see what they bring to the table, and then I get to pour into that plant so that they feel like those qualities, whether it's money or not, that's not a really prerequisite for me as well.
Yeah.
I get to put a light on that so they feel like they are providing to me. And that can look so many different ways. And I need so much in my life from a man, whether it's finances or like, that's just one little thing. What I'm looking for is my best friend.
Yes.
I
want to spend my life with
someone
you.
I feel so comfortable being my authentic self. Someone that sees me for who I am, that's willing to call me out on my bullshit, who's willing to push me, who's willing to say, hey, you said you were going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to hold you to that because I know that you can do that.
Yeah.
Someone who's gentle with me, someone who listens, someone who is willing to sit with my unhealed traumas with me.
Of course.
And someone that we can really complement what's happening. We're not one creating what's happening. We're not filling an empty cup. And we are just this beautiful, sexy, thriving couple.
I'm obsessed.
And
I love it.
It is now that I finally have actual prerequisites for a man. Before I was like, oh, it's selfish. This is what I thought. If I make prerequisites, if I make a list, that's morally wrong. That's selfish. That's
okay.
You're taking people out. You're not giving anyone a chance. I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
When I'm meeting someone, there's things in my mind. They are not materialistic things that are going to be like, yeah, no, I can't even go there.
Yeah.
Whereas before I didn't have that. And I think it's all my experiences that have led me to this conclusion of what my things are, which I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have like any like boxes that are like, I really need this person to check this box for me,
right,
to be my partner?
Yeah. So I think it's important. Like, I think we're really trying to convey the message to men that being a provider is not just financially. Being a provider is somewhere where I can relax and I can feel at ease, because I think me and you, we're so in our masculine for our careers that I want to naturally just fall at ease. If you make me feel safe and seen, I automatically fall into my feminine. Yeah. It's allowing my softness to come through. And so I don't know if men realize, like, because I talk to a lot of guys and they're like, oh, the girls like want, like, even Moment, I was like dying laughing because he's like, I gotta make $1 million. I'm like, dude, but like, I get it. Like, I think they think in their mind, like, they got to hit these like financial goals.
There are women that make men feel that way.
For sure. And they give us a bad name. I want to slap them in the face.
Like, can you please stop only seeing guys' pockets?
Stop.
Please, because
it's giving us a bad name, and it's giving us and it's hard to date out here because like normal, real girls. But yeah, so like
normal, real girls.
Hello, like we don't like being a provider and your masculine is so much more than finances, and like legitimately, that is probably the last on my list that I'm looking at. I would rather build together a vision with someone when they're at their like I don't care, but you also have to be confident in who you are and confident enough to support me and my dreams and my goals and not feel threatened somehow by that.
Yeah.
Like you said, like full cups. We water the plant.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? I don't need you to fill the void. But I think for me that I found like, I don't drink alcohol. I'm California sober. So I like dabble in other things, but like, I've realized that a sober man, not necessarily has to be 100% sober.
Yeah.
But it's so refreshing. I didn't realize like when I go on a date with someone and they're like, they're not a big drinker, they're more into health and fitness. I'm like, yes. I love that. Like I love a sober man. I love a self-aware man. And I love a man who's humble enough if I have like an issue to not be defensive. It's very fascinating. If I hit you with something that I'm struggling with, or I have like, I'm like, hey, for the first time I think we both just went through a little bit of breakups, but this last guy I dated, he walked away because he wasn't settled in his career. But we had so much good stuff. And it was like, I'm not able to provide for you right now. I'm overwhelmed. I'm freaking out. I'm piecing out. But one thing I loved about him was when I hit him like and be like, hey, I didn't really love that conversation. This really bothered me, or something like what you said is bothering me. He literally said, you know what? And this is like one of the first times this has happened.
I love this. I'm getting chills.
Because he said, you know what? You're right. The minute I got off the phone, I thought that was incredibly insensitive, Jen. And he said, how would you like to go forward from here?
Do you know how sexy that is?
I will do anything for you, my mans. Like literally, I know. So for me, it's someone who is humble enough to listen and hear me. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm just saying this bothers me, and to be humble enough to not react and not get defensive and not try to blame me, and just say, you know what? I could totally see, even if you don't think you're wrong. Wow. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. You know what? Let me think on that. Like, let me see how I can make you feel more comfortable or something like that. And for the first time, it was like, he saw me, he listened, he made me feel safe to express. And he was like, you're right. That was really insensitive. I'm really sorry. I am sorry. Those 3 words is so rare to hear from a man. And maybe like men think from women, but in my perspective, I pay attention. If you don't have the capacity to say, I am sorry, it's a huge red flag to me.
I have chills right now because, again, my last John Doe that I was dating, we built our connection through voice memos. We would talk all day via voice memos.
That's my love language.
This man, I'm going to break it down. What we're saying is emotional intelligence. This all comes down to emotional intelligence. It's being in control of your emotions. It's being able to communicate. It's being able to feel, to have empathy, to have all these things. I really feel like the same thing. There were so many conversations and 12-minute voice memos that I have saved where he's like, Des, I am so sorry that I made you feel this way. I am going to sit with this. I'm going to learn from this. You didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
I see you. I hear you. If you want to have any other conversation about this, you call me.
Sexy.
It's hot.
That is all you have to say.
Sexy.
And
done.
I'm not saying like an equal for us as well. If you come at me with something, like, and I'm literally not aware that I did it or anything, please make me aware. Even in friendships, I might not be aware that I offended you and I care about our relationship. Please come tell me so that I can sit with it. I can process it and be like, I'm really sorry for that I made you feel that way. It was not my intention. And that's honestly what we're looking for, is that emotional intelligence, safety, making me feel safe. So like, I also am hair sexual, so I need good hair.
Okay.
So that's like on my list.
Hair.
And banter, because I'm like witty and irreverent.
I love banter as well.
Banter's good. Voice memos are hot.
So I have an idea for an app. And I can't physically build it right now.
Okay.
So if anybody, just give me 10%. So if anybody wants to take the idea. So when I got on this dating app, I was like, I can't do this. I don't have time for this. This is overwhelming.
It's ridiculous.
So I started answering the DMs that I wanted to answer in voice messages, like from the get. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I'm Dezi. Like, so nice to meet you. So gonna be honest, I'm not a big texter. I kind of hate texting. So I'm gonna send these voice message and I'd answer. And like, first of all, half of them were like terrified and didn't answer. The other half were like, I've never had a woman send me a voice message in my entire life. Oh my God, your voice is sexy. And I'm like, I'm a singer. And then you're like, the other men, a lot of them were like, I've never sent voice messages, but I like this. And it started to build this connection. And so app development, I think there should be a dating app where all you can do is voice memo.
And so it's going to weed out, because like you said, you'll never get a message.
It's
It either
gonna weed
freaks
out
them
so
the hell
many
out.
people.
But if a man sends me a voice memo, I'm like, the fuck? I love you.
No, I have to like your voice.
Yeah,
here's what the voice memo does. Texting, you can hide behind a wall with texting.
Yep.
You don't know what their emotions are behind it. You don't know if it's half-assed. You don't know if it's chat GBT'd. Like, you don't even know at this point. When I hear someone's voice message, I get so many things. I get your emotional intelligence. I get what type of verbiage you're using. I get the vocabulary. I kind of can get like an education level there. I can get emotion.
Yes.
I get like,
yes.
if you're in the middle of a restaurant, you're like, yeah, so like, you know, are you intent? Like, your intent, are you? So all of that. And so it weeds out a lot.
Right.
And it starts creating connection.
Right.
And I think that that's what everyone's looking for in dating. And in this modern world, the reason why I wrote Make Love Loving and all this stuff, it made it very difficult to make that authentic connection, especially because dating, I don't know what the statistic is, but like dating has moved like 80% online or something crazy like that. Like, people meet people online. So how are we creating this authentic relationships? Then let's add in Instagram profiles. Okay, so now they have a pre-image of you.
Right.
Before you guys even talk, oh, they're like, this girl does this. She looks a little materialistic.
You have no idea.
Oh, she has a podcast.
Funny, yeah.
Oh, she's probably like so into herself. Like, oh, that's so crazy. So that is something that I had to go through with the guy I was dating. He was like, dude, I'm going to be straight up with you. When I looked at your Instagram, I was like, this girl is some like LA materialistic.
Really?
Which I'm like, did you look at the same profiles?
Yeah, that's the thing. You would never.
Like, I met you, and he was like, not my thought, my pre-thought. So then let's add in that. Let's add in all these things that we have to now deal with. Mm-hmm. Let's add in the fact that a lot of my answers to my thing is like, oh, well, men just feel like they have, and women have options for days. Swipe culture. Whatever, I can meet someone, oh, this hot person, this distraction. And so it's creating all of this stuff where it all comes back to the intimate connection, where as the modern world evolves, all these materialistic things like money, like cars, like houses, it starts to devalue because it's hard to find the intimate connections.
That's why I'm completely off the apps. I'm like, I
lasted 2 weeks.
Organic connection.
I can't.
Yeah,
I'm
determined. Like, I want to go the rest of my life without a dating app.
I'm probably going to meet my husband like pumping gas at a gas station.
I think that'd be so fun. I want to meet cute. I want to meet cute. Like, I've been trying to be in the flower department at Trader Joe's, like waiting to be tripped accidentally and like have them catch me, you know?
Oh my God. And then be like, oh, let me give you a rose.
I'm at the flower department at Trader Joe's. Come find me,
dude. Come find her.
Okay, so I think too, like I've talked to you, like I think me having a podcast intimidates a lot of guys, and I joke about dating, but like the real like people that are meaningful, like I don't talk about, you know. If it, you know, I did talk about the guy I just stopped dating, but it was a beautiful experience, and I will never shit, you know what I mean? Like I've only said really good things, and it was such a breath of fresh air, But again, it ended because we were in two different phases of life, and he didn't feel good enough or worthy.
Same.
And it was so unfortunate because I'm like, why can't we build together?
So here's my thing is question. I don't know if anyone's going to answer this podcast, but like, you see us before you enter the relationship. So what is the disconnect? Like, I don't like.
I think in their, I mean, I don't know. I think they probably go into it being like really excited about it. And then I think insecurity creeps in and they look at it. But that's why I'm confused, because you guys want, you say that you want a girl that is not damaged, dependent. You want a girl that has her shit together. Like, my life is full. I just want you to be my best friend and build it together. But like, my life is already full. But like, they say that they want that. But then me and you have realized, I don't know if they do. Right. And how can we, like, we're not going to dim our light and not make our life, change our lives for them. So how can I and you with a full life and our own shit and our careers and our passions make you feel that you are worthy to be in my world. It's not based on materials.
And here's the thing.
How can we do that?
Here's the thing that, and I'm talking so much about this last relationship, which was so, we never even officially dated. It was just like what you would call dating for a few months.
Me too. Yeah.
If I am choosing you to go out to the functions with me, to be my +1, to be my date, to come over on Wednesday nights when I'm free, to all these things, we already have, you are good enough.
Yes.
We are choosing to sit next to you and rock with you.
Yes.
And rock with your problems and rock with your stuff. And we're saying, I see so much value in you.
Yeah.
And you bring so many good things in me that I'm choosing to sit here with you anyway, every step of the way. So why is it if we're allowing them and we're saying, no, I see you, I like you for you, let's work on these things, that they're like, no, I'm not good enough to be here. Like, that it's just the craziest thing in the world. Like, you are already here.
So that's my thing too. I come from a background where I was married for a long time. Like, let me be very clear.
How long were you married?
14 years.
Okay.
Life is fucking hard.
You committed, girly.
Yeah. Like, life is hard. And that's my whole thing is like, it is not all sunshine and rainbows. I want to do life with you. And life means ups and downs. I want to support you when you're struggling. I want to support you when you're broke. I want to support you. Like, you're going to be up here. You can be down here in the same amount of time
and
that you're in a relationship. Yes.
And we want that.
I'm here to rock with you, like you said. Like, I'm here to support you. It doesn't have to be all the way up here. So there's like a disconnect. And I think, so tell me what tell me what the people wrote.
Okay, let me find some, because honestly, y'all really got me learned. And I will say thank you to everyone who answered, because I really went to class. I really went to school.
I love how you came at it like, I am a student, classes in session. Please help and teach me.
And people
want to learn.
Came. I really liked this answer.
So basically your question, just to recap, was, I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused and I'm trying to understand.
Yes.
Like, please help.
And
like,
I got answers from men and women.
Okay.
I really, this one's pretty intellectually sound.
Okay.
And it's from someone I really respect. His name's Joshua Pierce. Shout out Joshua Pierce. He's the CEO of a really awesome company called the Diversity Organization.
Okay.
Which I'm a global speaker under.
Love.
And he's just amazing.
Okay.
So here's what he had to say.
This is from a man?
This is from a man who is an entrepreneur.
Okay.
He goes, success has become more challenging to achieve for our generation, and social media often amplifies feelings of inadequacy, especially for men. Many men in their 20s and 30s haven't yet reached their professional primes and may feel like they're falling behind compared to societal expectations or curated online portrayals. For women, this can impact dating dynamics. One potential solution is to focus on dating men your age who are already highly accomplished or confident in their progress. And alternatively, consider dating older men who have had more time to establish themselves professionally and are less likely to feel inadequate or pressured by comparison.
I understand that. And a lot of people tell me that. My problem is I have such a fun young energy.
Yep.
I just find a lot of the older men are a little bit jaded.
Yeah.
But okay, but me and you have both been dating younger guys, right?
Yeah. Okay, so that's the other thing.
And I do love them younger, but
I don't know what it is. I just like the youthfulness in them. I see this I see this 35-year-old man and I'm like, are you my dad?
No, no, really. And I'm like delusional because I am in my late 30s and I'm like, ew, you're disgusting. I'm even at I'm so delusional. I am literally, you guys, I am trapped in a body that is not me. I'm at school with like the moms, and every time they talk, I'm like, I am not here. Like, this is not like, I don't give a shit about what you guys are saying. Like, I don't resonate. I'm trapped in this older body. So I've got the wisdom and career, but like every time they talk, I'm just like, yo, like I don't know. So yeah, you're right. We are dating younger, and I do understand that from that perspective, but there is a youthful energy about.
Ooh, this one's good too.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, wait. This is from a woman. Okay. Her name is Lori Aldate. She also is bomb entrepreneur. I love how all of these were like from entrepreneur. Actually, it's from all types of people, but this one was good. This is good for anyone who is hyper independent and starts dating another hyper independent person.
Okay.
So she says, I say this as a once hyper independent, career focused, and high level corporate manager. I had to really unlearn to step into my feminine energy and not fight my husband on his leadership or goals. We accomplish goals faster when we work together instead of him on his goals and me on my goals. And it turns out I just needed to learn to trust that it's okay for me to not have my own income. He made way more than me. And anyways, even when I was moving up in my career, it impacted our relationship due to our lifestyles being different. Once I released all my attachment to my resume, college degree, and my corporate titles, even I realized I honestly didn't need to work. It was a 3-year journey, married, to reach this new version that I honestly enjoy and thrive in. I'm less stressed. I'm doing passion projects. We travel more than ever, and we do things together. I think the right man will naturally guide you with his love, understanding, and patience, not to change you, but to see you and understand you in a whole new way.
Okay.
So she was someone who
stopped working though.
Like, I guess I don't think she stopped working because I know her and she's doing stuff, but I think it's where it's coming from. So one thing that stood out to me was like, she does more passion projects. And I honestly probably think it's a mindset shift. She might be doing the same things. Yeah. But now she's like, I'm doing this out of creativity and passion. I'm not doing this to survive.
Okay. And I like
I'm not doing this because I'm in fight or flight. I need to make this happen. I need to make this business work or I am literally going to die. Yeah. Like, where I can resonate with that. Yeah. I love my career.
So do I.
And what is my career? Well, I don't really know. I tell people at this point that I'm more of a public figure than anything. Yeah. Because I'm more of someone who will stand up for things that I believe in.
I love it.
That builds an audience, that curates good conversations, and that is on stage a lot and gets to impact a lot of people. And so in my career, I am a professional singer. I do sing all around Vegas and beyond. Yeah. I am a speaker. I do travel and speak. I own a mental health clothing brand. And so yes, I'm a podcast host. All the same vision. But sometimes I'm tired. Yeah. I want to take a step back. Yeah. And I can't.
Yeah. And I think that's, me and you are both in the same, like, and I am in fight. Like, I have to do it to survive.
Having that person there to be like, babe, take 3 months. Chill. I got you. If you want to wake up and work on your stuff, cool. If you want to wake up and go do yoga and go on your hikes and go to your Bible studies and focus on your health and focus on your family and focus on us and what we're building, maybe pour into my projects a little bit, cool. But like, just relax, baby girl.
But see, I feel like that's more of a financial, like, he's got it.
Yeah, but like, maybe I could sustain myself during that. Right. Maybe I have a savings, or maybe like we already live under the same roof and it's really not that big of a deal.
But it's like, we're doing this together is the sexiest thing. Like, I got you. Yeah. Like, whatever you need to do.
Or just having the option to, because for me as a woman in a relationship that I want to be in, it's like part of my duty that I would like to fulfill is I want to get into that motherly, I'm not a mom, so I don't know what it feels like yet, but in that motherly caretaking vibe, where I would feel really good just not being a housewife, because I'd go crazy because I have to be doing passionate things, but just waking up and being like, okay, babe, I'm going to wake up and make sure like you have your coffee in the morning and that you have breakfast and that you, I'm going to push you to journal. I'm going to push you to go into your emotions. I'm going to sit with you in those ways. And that would be very fulfilling for me. And would be a beautiful thing that I would like to pour into. Whether he's being, taking care of me financially for 2 or 3 months because I am doing that, I think that I'm still pouring into him in a way. So it's like, I want to be able to take a step back and step into that role a little bit, because as women, as us in our feminine, and you're a mom, so you know more than me, I feel like that's just in our nature to want to be in that caregiving situation.
And I feel like creative energy is feminine energy. Yeah. It's like allowing us to create from a place of flow instead of force, because when we're in our masculine, we have to be, we're forcing, we're producing, we're doing all that. But like if you're allowing and receiving, and it's more of like this feminine kind of energy. Okay, what else did you get? Any other good ones?
I have like I just started screenshotting a million things. Someone said, I feel like people have too many options due to dating apps and social media and less deeper in-person connections that aren't just surface level attraction. As far as one party not appreciating being with a successful independent person, this is more of a reflection of their own insecurities and starting a relationship before not being fully content with where they may be in their own career or with themselves. You can't build something together if you aren't happy on your own, or if you get jealous when you're seeing others succeed.
That is true. And I think you talk like, let's build together. But I think the key to building together is to knowing you're already whole.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean you have to have it, like all of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm whole and I'm pursuing something that I love and not being insecure. But I do think what you said, like this Instagram culture of everybody is doing better. Like it's all a facade. Like they could be, but you don't actually know. Instagram is a highlight reel. They don't show, the stress of trying to pay your bills, like, or hustling and not being able to make rent. Like, it's a highlight reel. And so I think it's probably really hard for men, especially to see other people succeed and want that. But yeah, I think building together requires being whole and confident in who you are.
And I think I'm gonna give men, I know part of this is the fact that men are raised in a certain mindset and have to be in this like, I got you, like this is what I'm meant to do, like I am here to provide. And I think our generation of women are saying, hold on, we see you. You have softness in you. You cry. You have emotions. And I think that's hard for men to. I think we're trying to undo a cultural norm that is difficult for them to let go. And then we switch into this masculine boss babe entrepreneur thing that I think has gone slightly out of hand.
Absolutely,
a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just doing too much.
For sure.
And it's making them feel like, hold on, wait a second, why y'all trying to do all the things and like trying to like prove yourself that you don't need me? Well, if you don't need me, then you don't need me.
Went too far.
Yeah, I think it's went too far.
That's where I think the disconnect is men are insecure and women went pushed way too far on the feminism.
Yeah.
So now they don't know where their role is, and now we're like, wait. Like, wait, no. And it's these too far extremes where, I really genuinely think feminism went too far.
It went too far. And then it puts a bad rep on us. And then people have one glance at your Instagram and it's like, oh, this chick, da-da-da-da-da-da. And they're dismissing it. And it's like,
that's
what
the
thing. In the crap?
I don't know if we should give guys our Instagrams.
Dude, I
genuinely don't. Because here's the thing. I'm actually really funny and irreverent and unhinged. And sometimes you can see that, but you might not be able to see that on my Instagram. Like maybe more on my stories. But if you just looked like, I'm only posting hot pictures. Hello? But it's not my personality. And that's why sometimes I'm iffy about the Instagram. If they ask me my Instagram.
It's tough.
Because sometimes I think once they see my Instagram, they don't know me well enough. They're going to make a judgment call based on that. And it is not like an organic like connection with my personality.
Dude, when people see my Instagram, they literally think I'm famous. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally like in my sweats, like drinking my day old coffee in my apartment right now.
I don't know
like,
if I like it.
What?
I think it.
But at the same time, it's like, that is me. I love what I do, like I said, but like if you look at my Instagram versus me, this is sad that this is even a conversation. Like my Instagram, it's so much to do with it. I'm a small town girl who grew up in La Plata, Maryland, where the funnest thing to do was watch grass grow and go hunting.
Stop.
I
love it.
Had 4 restaurants in my neighborhood. I went to a Christian school. I'm a God-centered woman. Things I like to do that I enjoy. Read books, play board games, go on hikes, coffee shops, podcasts.
Yeah.
Some girl time.
Yeah.
Cooking a new recipe in probably like burning down my house in the process. I'm actually a great cook. But
I'm
the
actually
thing is,
not, so sorry.
Like,
I'm not bringing that to the table.
I'm just this normal, goofy, fun child at heart, playful. I want like you to come home from work and I'm like shooting you with the Nerf gun, like very chill.
But would they get that from your?
They don't get that.
No,
they don't get that. And I'm like, but can you please just get to come know me? Because the biggest conversation I had with the last guy I was talking to that I was trying to drill into his head is like, I am not my career.
Mm-hmm.
You go to work. You go to work. Do I say you are MGM?
Yeah. No.
Right. So
I feel the same about being a mother.
It's like I am not my career.
I'm not just a mom. Like that is a portion of me. I am also like we are multi-dimensional beings.
Oh wait, how do you feel now that you say mom? Like, do you care? I know
I'm a MILF actually. I don't like mom. MILFs, not moms.
I'm an MILF. Do you care about dating someone who has children as someone who has children?
Okay, I'm so fucked up. Okay, no, I don't want someone with kids at all, and I know how insane that is because I have 2 kids.
Okay.
No, I haven't dated one single person with children.
Okay.
I'm at the point, and I don't know how much longer I can do this. I would rather get knocked up at my age and rock the shit out of with my big old boobs and my belly.
Okay.
I would literally rather give someone a baby than try to blend families. And I know that would be really hard because I have kids. I'm saying that. I just think it's my kids don't want it. Like they don't want to like shack up with these other kids. I think it adds a layer of like, look, like these kids didn't get like they didn't ask for their parents to get divorced, and now I'm gonna ask them to like, oh hey, we're moving in with this guy and their 2 kids. Like no, I would rather like have him come into my life and create a new dynamic and then give him his own babies.
Yeah.
So,
you know, what's funny is, one prerequisite that wasn't a prerequisite. It's not even a prerequisite, but I have been really connecting into my faith this year.
I love it.
And I never was like, I need a man who's God-led. And I realized this year that I do. Okay. And that's like a big thing for me.
Yes.
But I will say with the kids thing, it doesn't turn me off.
No, I think that's great. I love that.
Like it doesn't, I mean, it raises 1,000 million questions and like it's a whole nother dynamic. But I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, you have kids. That's not going to work for me because I don't have kids. I also have PCOS, which is like, it's hard for us to have kids and stuff. I do want to have kids. I do want to be a mom. So it's not something, because I'm always like, why aren't I turned off like this? Like, why am I okay with talking to a man with kids?
Beautiful.
But I really could see myself, if that's something that came with my ideal partner, that, you know, if the situation wasn't like cray and there's some like crazy like going on situation, that ain't gonna work.
No, that is
but
not
if you have emotionally handled your ish, I feel like I could handle that.
I love that. And for me, I think because I already have them, I don't want, and I have a lot of friends that date, but I think it's it's an insecurity of mine. Even though I am obsessed with my kids, I don't post them online because it freaks me out, especially because I'm single. I also have a daughter that's like a teenager, which is insane because I got married as a child. But I don't want men. I don't know. I'm just really freaked out. So I don't put my kids online. So it also gives a weird impression that I'm not a mom, but I very much am. It's just a very private part of my life. But I also think it's a big turnoff sometimes. It's an insecurity of mine. Like I'm going to be judged for having kind of what you would quote baggage, which is not baggage. It's the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
But I do think it's an insecurity of mine because I feel like men don't want to date me. I've had men just be like, you know, I think down the road it wouldn't work. And I'm like, well, why? And he's like, well, I just have a very particular picture of what I want my life to look like. And I don't think you can have 4 more kids. And I want 4 of my own. And like, just very specific. And I'm like, okay, I can't have 4. I probably have 2 in me at the most, you know? So it is a little insecure. You know, like I want people to like get to know me for me and not judge me from that. And like, I have the best, kindest kids and they're just so down for like, you know, you're not going to replace their dad. You're going to be a fun bonus friend, dad, whatever that looks like. But I think it intimidates guys too that I have kids.
You know what I think is beautiful, that at least for me sitting next to you, that's really inspiring, is I'm 28. You're 10 years older than me. So I have this mindset view that I'm getting too, like, I need to figure this out because I want to have kids.
No.
And it's really beautiful for you at 38 to be like, oh, I have 2 kids in me still.
Yeah.
And because I have this thing in my head where I'm like, oh my God, I'm 28. And so I need to meet the person.
Yeah.
I need to fall in love.
Chill.
I need to, that's going to take a while. And then we have to figure it. And then I'm like, okay, well, that's going to take like 2 years. And then like, okay, and then I'm pregnant for 9 months. And then I'm like, oh, then I'm 32 already at that point. And then, and I'm like, that is stressing me out.
Yeah, you need to chill. I will say, like, I'm getting older, so it is starting to like freak me out. Only because I don't have to have more kids because I have beautiful kids, but because I don't want someone with kids, I feel like they're going to want their own kids, and I would love to give that to them, my person. But I have to check myself because I am old, and we were raised in a generation where it's like,
old girl.
You're 35, you're geriatric. Giselle's 44 and she's pregnant. Like, stop. No. That's so crazy. Time has changed. We've rebranded our generation. I'm telling you, we've rebranded. It's not like our parents. Yeah. Yes, it's not ideal, but yeah, do I think I'll be pregnant with 41? Probably. Maybe.
I'll be there.
And it's fine. We'll raise our babies together. But you've got to like check yourself and not like.
I really got to let go of that because it's been putting a little bit of pressure on me. I'm putting pressure on me. No one's putting pressure on me. And it's also the family dynamic comes in where it's like, I want to give my parents grandkids. Right. I want them to experience that. I have a younger brother. So, and I'm at the point too where I'm like, I'm ready to start my own, like my family, y'all cray.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love y'all. Cray. I'm ready. Cray too much. I'm ready to start my family. Right. On top, to blend, and then having that person there to come into family situations with me as my rock with me. Mm-hmm. These are the morals I live with. This is the lifestyle I live with. I don't want to go hang out and only get drunk at family functions and things like that, like, and then having this person be like, yeah, we're not drinking together, like those things. I'm ready for that. Yes. And I'm ready to stand tall with my mans doing our thing. Right. So
I think it's having, I do think it's tough because I'm like, can we release and surrender like what we think we need? Like when that guy was like, I have this very specific vision of what my life looks like. And I was like, okay. I feel like, yes, I understand that logic, but I also am like, what if you're so obsessed with how you think your life is supposed to look like that you're literally missing out on really amazing people that could change your life or whatever? And I think I've had to try to surrender that idea. Like, look, I got married as a child. I thought my life was going to look a certain way. And then I found myself divorced and a single mom. And yeah, it's been really hard. And I could be like, oh, my life, but my life is destroyed. Like what I thought my life was supposed to look like. Or can I surrender and be like, my life is working out for me exactly how it's supposed to be. It just doesn't look like what I thought. And can I surrender to just be open to what is best for me and not be so attached and clinging on to this vision? But like, it's also good to have a vision. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's hard. A balance. It's a balance to be like open and surrender. Yeah. But also know your like non-negotiables and like kind of like what you want. But it's like, I think when we get so caught up, like you're like, I gotta have this, like my age is running out. Like, can we just surrender and like, it's all going to happen in exactly how it's supposed to.
I think one of the statements that I like to live by in all areas is be like stubborn about the destination, but be completely surrendered.
I love
to
that.
The process.
Can you say that one more time?
So be stubborn about your destination. Like don't falter. Don't dim your light. Don't let go of your dreams and your vision, but completely surrender and be completely open to how you're going to get there. Yeah. When you're going to get there, who's going to be there.
What that looks like, just kind of, I love that. Just destination, but let this be how it flows.
You don't know.
And you stop just trying to cling. Yeah.
Because having a vision is important. You can't, you're going no directions if you have no direction, right? You're just going, like, this is my destination, but I surrender what it looks like to get there. Yeah, exactly.
Because as we all know, you can go a bunch of different directions. Like I do hair. Yeah. That's what pays the bills, not the podcast. Yeah. I can't wait one day. Yeah. But when I always tell these girls, I'm like, there's 1,000 different ways to achieve the look. So like you do what you're comfortable
Wait,
with.
can you do my hair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hello.
I need help.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I love your hair. Actually, I was like looking at it. I was like, it's voluminous. But yeah, I'm just like, there's a bunch of different ways to get. So I think having an eye on the destination, but surrendering completely to what it looks like to get there.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about this disconnect? What can we do?
Well, it always starts, Michael Jackson said, man in the mirror, right? So it always starts with us, of course. I honestly think me and you sitting here as two boss-ass women, even having this conversation is a start of what do we do about this? I think starting to bring up the conversation that it is a problem, that it is happening.
Yeah.
And I think it's having more of those types of conversations with the men and the women and just being like asking them like how I did on my story was like, oh, people are waiting for someone to bring this
we're all
up.
Struggling. And like, it's not embarrassing. Like this is not, dating is not easy. Like we're struggling. And I think too, coming from like an open place of like, well, I think the problem is, and I have like a dating podcast and I joke about all my bad dating, but men are not bad. Yeah. And I always tell my girlfriends, stop with the rhetoric. Like men lie, men cheat. No, they don't. Yeah, there are bad apples. Right. But if we continue with that rhetoric, like that's what you attract. So like, no, men are amazing. Men are kind. Men are loyal. Men are loving. But like how there's an obvious disconnect. And how can we, I mean, but you're right. The man in the mirror, work on ourselves. Like how can we, but I think it's just self accountability. Like they're gonna have to deal with if the insecurities stop. And
I think it's also us. Like I think it'll like we attract things. So I think that if we're attracting these insecure men, like that's a thing too. Like you're attracting / allowing these insecure men, which means there's actually a part of me that's insecure.
For sure.
So what I've really been sitting with myself, if I had to sit with the man in the mirror or the beautiful woman in the mirror, is I think I subconsciously don't think I'm worthy of the man that I'm worthy to have.
Interesting. Okay.
And so I'm attracting these guys where I'm still on the pedestal. They don't intimidate me. Yeah. I've never dated a man that intimidates me before. Yeah. I think I need to do that. I think I need to be a little bit like, okay, this is, I'm comfortable. You're like doing all these things and you're really secure and you don't need me. Yeah. The men I've been dating, it's like, they kind of need me in a way. And that makes us feel good. Right. And so I think I'm like, I need to be with someone who makes me feel like the way I'm making them feel. Exactly. In a way. And then navigate that together. So I think if I really think that that's like a shift that I'm making too. It's like, I'm kind of going for people that I would never. Yeah. That like, kind of like, oh, they're out of my league. Oh, they're doing but like no. Those are my people.
No, yeah, for sure. Like, for sure.
So yeah. It's a mindset thing.
I feel the same too. Like I tend to go for people that I'm like inspired by, where I'm like, oh, like I'm inspired by you. Like you're kind of bigger than me. Like stuff like that. But I think my whole goal this year is to just try to get my mental health under control. Get that checked. I've had a rough year. Okay. Get that checked and to pour into myself and to really work on those insecurities that present itself in the mirror. And just try to allow and trust. You got to get outside. You got to leave your house.
Got to get outside, baby.
You got to get outside, baby. So I'll be outside, but I'm not.
She be outside.
I'm going to be outside. Catch me outside. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? I'm going to be outside, but like, I'm not going to force. And I know that a lot of people have different opinions on that, but I'm just going to like I'm going to pour into myself, get outside to meet people, but maybe not go with this intention of like, time is running out. Right, I need to find my person, like going out and just being you, trying to live my life and like be with my girlfriends. But yeah, I mean, if any men have any suggestions how, I'm just genuinely a little bit confused.
At the end of this podcast, we're still confused. Very confused. But it was a very much confusion discussion about the male species, but we love you.
We love you.
We are here for you. We are here for it.
We are here for it.
Yeah, and
please help.
If you don't mind, one. If you don't mind me really quickly as your friend,
yes,
that I love you so much. what exactly would you like to work on, or what's kind of happening with your mental health that you like?
Yeah.
I could support you on, or even your
so
audience
sweet.
knowing kind of how they can support you as well.
Yeah. So I talked a little bit about I've been dealing with really hard years. I got divorced 3 years ago. I left my high demand religion 5 years ago. So I've had this very transformative, but both of those very much felt like a death. And so I've had to try to rebuild myself. I will say this year I was put in situations that were so horrific, unfathomable. You cannot even imagine. I'm telling you, it's been 3 years of just, there's not a lot of like, there's been way more losses than wins. It's a season. It's not always going to be like that. But I've had all these like ideas where like, I want to talk on the podcast and do solo episodes and be like, this is how I got better. And I finally was like, I don't have the medicine, and maybe that's okay. And I finally did a quick like podcast where I was like, I'm not okay. Like I haven't been okay.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to give the medicine. I don't have it. I'm in the thick of it. It's a season. So it just is just uplifting.
That's really beautiful though, I will say.
Yeah. Like it's just one of those things where I think sometimes we wait we're waiting for the end of our storm. And then I can talk about it, and I can be like, this is how I got better. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't know when it's going to ease up. And can I just talk about that and be real and be like, you know what? Yeah, like I've had way more like lows than highs. It's not always going to be like that. And maybe I can just relate to people and be like, yeah, like I've struggled this year. I haven't been on my A game. I've dealt with insecurity. I've dealt with situations where betrayal by people that I love, like hard things where it's like, damn, but it's okay. And like, other than that, just like, I just think loving people where they're at and realizing like, sometimes your friends aren't going to be like the fun. I feel like I struggle a lot this year that I had some freak outs on friends that I like never anticipated. And I just asked for forgiveness because I was like, I was genuinely not well. And I was hiding it a lot because I am outgoing and I'm fun and no one's really knowing like I'm actually not okay. And I think like realizing that the duality exists and like just giving grace for people like where they're at. I think, you know, in general, just loving them where they're at and realizing like,
and loving yourself and giving yourself grace to yourself.
Right.
And I can really resonate. I love that you said I was trying to give the medicine or the solution, because me and you are the type of people that we want to help people.
Right, exactly.
Here's the thing. I'm telling you, when I'm saying I'm living in this today, yesterday, like this is happening in my life currently very heavily. I own a mindset mental health brand. Okay. Yeah. I gave myself mental health issues building this mental health company. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I need to figure that out.
Right.
Secondly, one of the biggest logos that I have that really resonates with people is the Choose Happy logo.
Yeah. I love it. Choose Happy.
Had to sit with myself this week and realize that I, for the past year, have not been choosing happy.
Okay.
I thought I was choosing happy. I portrayed I was choosing happy. Were there career highs happening? Yes.
Yeah.
Were there blessings? Yes. Everyone says that, how am I everywhere all the time? Like, people are literally every day, that's the number one question that they ask me. They're like, how do you do so many things?
Yeah.
And I say it's out of pure passion.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't choosing me. I was doing what I thought people needed, wanted me to do, and what I thought I needed to keep this image of I'm okay up.
Yes.
I was not okay.
Yeah.
I have workaholic issues.
Yeah.
And I think that I mask a lot of problems in my life with my career.
Yeah.
I just stay busy 24/7. I'm starting to take stuff away. I'm starting to give myself space.
I love it.
And I'm starting to do things that truly is me choosing happy, that I don't know what the outcome is. I don't know if I'm going to make money off of it. I don't know if I'm going to be, get a financial hit. I don't know if I'm going to get a blah, blah, blah hit. But I'm starting to not care and realize that that's what life is about. All of this other stuff is a cloud of distraction.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm sitting with right now. I'm over here having hundreds of people buy and rep my brand that they believe in, that I believe in, that I created out of my own pain. But I really need to step into choosing happy. And that might not be what it looks like right now, and have to be okay with that.
And that's okay.
And so I'm doing that right now.
I love that.
I am living that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And it's quite liberating, I will say.
I love it. I think when you start living for other people is where the unhappiness, it's you're disconnecting from yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where that happens. And also choosing happy is a choice. It doesn't mean it's going to feel good all the time.
No, sometimes it feels like death.
Right.
It feels like I'm
Yes.
like death. It feels like I'm letting go of this project. I'm letting go of
dying.
this. Da-da-da-da.
You're grieving.
Maybe for a while, maybe forever, maybe it's going to come back, maybe it's not its time. But then that pain is real.
Yeah.
But it's also relief. It's like I'm doing what my intuition is telling me. I'm doing what God is telling me. I'm doing all the things. And so it feels, it's terrifying. It's bittersweet, pun intended.
For real.
But I also think it's going to allow me to be the woman to attract the type of man that I deserve,
love it.
and to have the space and time for him as well.
I love how we wrap this up. What a beautiful conversation. Men, please, we love you. Just please.
Hi, yeah. I mean, look at us. I mean, no, no, Jen, this was
Thank
awesome.
you so much for coming on. I love you.
Inviting me. I remember meeting you and I was like, you're my soul sister.
I feel the same. I'm so grateful to find my people in Vegas.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud
You're
of you
such
as well.
a bright light, and your smile
love you.
shines every room. And this was a really intimate, you made me feel really comfortable to open up and to chat with you.
I love you so much.
And this is just the beginning of me and Jen, y'all. Y'all just
yeah,
we're starting a girl group. It's going crazy.
Yes, but choose happy.
Choose happy, and just always, remember, if you are listening to this and you're going through a pivotal moment, you just know that sometimes the worst things that are happening to you right now are the best, going to give you the armor, going to give you the knowledge, going to give you the wisdom that you need. You don't even know what's ahead.
And I think sometimes what we pray for, we don't anticipate what it takes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's ugly in order to get to the destination you want.
Ugh. Girl, I could talk to you all day.
I know. We got to wrap it up. Thank you so much. I adore you.
I adore you too.